Recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Min.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ranking Member Scanlon. I'm here to discuss a number of bills related to financial conflicts of interest. In May of this year, I introduced H.R. 3779, the Stock Act 2.0, to address a clear conflict of interest that we have seen far too often illustrated here, and that is congressional stock trading. This legislation would strengthen restrictions on individual stock trading by members of Congress, the judiciary, and the executive branch. Critically, it builds on the important foundation of the original Stock Act by improving filing and disclosure requirements of financial reports, increasing penalties for noncompliance, and ensuring real transparency and accountability. Public service is an honor, not an opportunity for self-enrichment at the expense of our constituents. And this should not be a partisan issue. I'm pleased to see so many members from both parties joining on efforts to try to address this issue. We've seen the news reports of members of Congress, members of this administration, members of the judiciary, apparently benefiting from access to information that average Americans don't have, trading on the information we have, cheating the markets. Now, I'm very, very reassured by the fact that Speaker Johnson told Representative Luna that he is strongly considering addressing this issue. And of course, a number of legislative efforts are under discussion right now. This is encouraging, and it underscores the need for accountability across the board. I also want to highlight another important bill being led by my colleague and friend, Representative Hank Johnson, who's been at the forefront of efforts to address the ethical challenges currently facing the Supreme Court. Representative Johnson's Supreme Court Ethics, Recusal, and Transparency Act would require justices of the Supreme Court to adopt and follow a binding code of ethics with an enforcement mechanism for resolving ethics or misconduct complaints. This is a crucial step for restoring the public's trust in the highest court. We cannot just allow them to police themselves. There needs to be some transparency and accountability. Together, these two bills demonstrate a commitment to restoring public trust, which is failing right now in our public institutions and our government. They are efforts to try to ensure that all three branches of government, the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judiciary, are held to the highest standards of ethics and transparency, and that we are holding ourselves to the same standards that we ask of people in other fields. Building on this momentum, I'm pleased to announce the launch of the Congressional Progressive Caucus's Fighting Corruption Task Force. As chair of that new task force, alongside Vice Chair Hank Johnson, we are working right now on efforts to elevate anti-corruption measures across the Democratic caucus. I'm excited to work with several of my colleagues on this initiative, including Representatives Scanlon, DeLuzio, Summer Lee, and Mike Levin. Our first meeting will take place in December, and we look forward to advancing meaningful reforms for Congress. We also welcome input from our Republican colleagues because corruption is not confined to one party, and efforts to try to rein this in should not be confined to any one political party. I'll conclude my remarks by thanking the committee once again for its focus on addressing corruption and safeguarding the integrity of our institutions. I yield back.